What the is happening right now with key prices?
That is a very good question. So, for anyone who missed it, the price of keys dropped by around 20% for several hours around late Friday night or early Saturday morning, depending on what time zone you're in. It was a very dramatic drop, you can see it was instant, and I am very happy to answer this guy's question about just what the was going on. Now, everyone has probably noticed at this point that I've started to get into a bit of shit posting. I like mixing it up a bit and combining styles, and my dream video topic would be something that combines a huge drama with crazy personalities and also allows for some actual analysis and, most importantly, a chance to make money. And as it would happen, this particular event kind of ticks all those boxes. I was in for a bit of a treat. So let's start at the beginning, because getting to the bottom of this event requires us to go back to 2016, and unfortunately it also involves a bit of a dive into politics. Now, I've endeavoured to keep any and all politics off my channel despite a slightly provocative username, but sadly, circumstances have forced my hand here. So we're going to be taking a bit of a look at American politics, and I promise you, cross my heart, hope to die, this is actually relevant. So, as I said, we're starting in 2016. Now, you may have missed this event. It wasn't, top in the news or anything, but basically, there was this election in the United States. It wasn't a huge deal or anything like that, but it did happen, and it pitted the two most publicly despised presidential candidates in American history against each other. And the results were not actually that predictable, because the guy with the orange face pulled a surprise victory against the odds, and after the biggest crowd at his inauguration in history, he found himself in the White House. Now, when it comes to his policies, this bloke is sort of the political version of the Pokemon Ditto. He switches it up a bit.
She deleted the emails. She has to go to jail.
Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway, who ran his campaign, saying earlier today that the president-elect will not pursue a criminal investigation against Hillary Clinton.
But he's also consistent on a few things, such as,
I will build a great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall.
And also the need to use tariffs to protect America from what he considers to be unfair trading practices. Now, I'm not going to discuss the pros and cons of these policies in this video. I don't want to pollute YouTube with some narcissistic screeching about my irrelevant opinions. That's what Twitter's for. But one of these policies is relevant here, and it's not the wall. The wall still has some bureaucratic hurdles that it needs to get past, and he hasn't quite gotten over these yet. But bringing in tariffs on imported goods is a lot easier to do, and after a bit the Don got to work on that. Now, China, naturally, felt the brunt of his wrath, but recently there's been a bit of a spat developing between Turkey and the United States. And I'm not going to get into the details, I don't think they're too important to this video, but what does matter is that this has caused a bit of tension and led to this recent edition of Government by Twitter. Now, this tweet actually tells us pretty much all we need to know. Trump has put some fairly hefty tariffs on Turkish exports, and the Turkish lira, the Turkish currency, has taken a hit. In fact, it's fallen roughly 15% or so. Now, at this point, we don't really need to delve any further into the economic or political implications of this whole event, even if one of them is that it could destabilize the entire region. Basically, Trump has sent shockwaves through the Turkish economy and caused the Turkish currency to lose quite a lot of value against the US's very strong dollar. And this is where CSGO keys become relevant, because if you want to buy a key in the US, or Australia for that matter, you'll be paying $2.49 in US dollars for each key. But in Turkey, you're not paying US dollars, you're paying in lira. You're paying 11 lira 50. And when Trump sent the value of the lira into a tailspin, all of a sudden this 11.50 lira wasn't worth anything close to $2.49 US. It was worth more like $1.80 US. And what that meant is all of a sudden Turkish players could buy their keys significantly cheaper than everyone else in the world, and therefore sell them to everyone else for a profit. In other words, rather ironically, Trump's trade tariffs on Turkish steel and aluminium gave Turkey a trade advantage in the CSGO keys sector. Now, admittedly it's a slightly smaller and less strategically vital industry, but still, it's one area that Turkey could say that they were proudly beating the Americans. Well, beating America for about 3 hours anyway, at which point Donald J. Gabon had his minions at Steam increase the price of keys in Turkey to about 15.95 lira. returning key prices back to normal in more or less an instant. So in some respects this is a bit of a blip on the radar. Key prices went down for a few hours and then they went back up. I guess the guy who put up this thread 2 years ago finally got his answer. But there are some other interesting things about this, aside from just the massive geopolitical implications of a split between the US and Turkey. First of all, there's money. When I saw this happening, I rushed out to buy 150 keys, split between the clutch case and both Spectrum cases for $1.96 each, and you can see that these sellers are from Turkey. I've crossed out some of the identifying information, but you can clearly see that they're Turkish. Anyway, now that the price has corrected itself, I'm planning on selling them off for about $2.55 each, which works out to be roughly 26 cents profit per key after sales tax, so I made about $40 all up. Now, this works out to be around about a 12% profit margin for me, and it may not sound amazing, but I think these events are actually something really neat and something you should really keep an eye out for in the future because you could make some really good money. And I'll explain why I'm actually so keen on these. Basically, the reason events like this are a really great way to make money is that they're quick, and I mean quick, like a couple of hours quick, and they're also essentially risk-free. To make money in a situation like this, you need two things to happen. First of all, Valve needs to fix up the key price in whatever jurisdiction that the exchange rate has dropped. Secondly, the market needs to recover from being flooded with discount keys. So on this first thing, Valve fixing up the key price so it's around about $2.49 US, you can be more or less guaranteed that this will happen within a few hours, because if one country can buy keys for $1.80, everyone else in the world is going to start buying keys off them at this price via the Steam market. So why would you pay $2.49 for a key when you could get it for $2 on the Steam market after taxes? In other words, Valve is going to more or less instantly take a 20% cut on the amount they're making on keys, and I don't think they're likely to put up with that for long. I think they'll be scrambling developers to fix this problem pretty bloody quickly. This still requires the prices of keys to recover though, and part of the reason I'm comfortable saying that they will recover in an instant is that that's exactly what happened here. They shot up the second Valve fixed up the price. And this is despite people having hours to stock up on discount keys. But there's good reason to think that the price will recover very quickly anyway. Firstly, keys are the ultimate consumable. Their purpose is to be used, and at the end of the day, the community opens a lot of cases. They open lots of them, and you can guarantee that where cases are being opened, the cheapest keys will be used first. That is, unless you're a Hydra key. In that case, nobody wants you and your price is going down and staying down, but the other keys don't have this problem. Any surplus keys are going to get used up quite quickly. Secondly, we have other use of the keys. We use them as a currency, and this will help the price recover as well, because anyone who uses keys as a currency is going to hoard them when they're on sale at a discount price so they can buy skins on the cheap later. These things aren't going to be sitting around on the market unwanted. You can grab them, stockpile them, and use them to gain leverage when trading for skins later on. This invariably ensures that there'll be an additional wave of demand of people gobbling up discount skins, and importantly, all these people will be trying to sell them again for $2.49 as soon as Valve fixes up the prices. So putting these things together, it's going to be really hard for any event like this to do lasting damage to key prices. The game's economy would have to be really unhealthy for that to happen, and I don't think we're anywhere near that point. And here's the thing, these kinds of events are really rare. It's only ever happened one other time in CSGO's history as far as I'm aware of, but you know what might make them a bit more common? An erratic world leader who likes slapping tariffs on people. Not naming any names of course, but having an erratic world leader who likes slapping tariffs on people may lead to some more exchange rate shocks in the future, which may lead to more opportunities to buy keys at a discount and sell them for a profit once the price recovers. Oh, and did I mention that this may already have triggered an economic crisis in Turkey anyway, and this may spread to other emerging markets? Yeah, I probably should mention that. This could lead to additional exchange rate shocks as well, but it may also mean immense suffering for billions of people. So I don't really feel like making sarcastic jokes anymore. I think I might just wrap up the video. So yeah, anyway, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.